Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? We are back. We are back with another one here today. And today is your day to actually ask whatever question you might have, whatever thing you might want to know, and we're ready to get started. So, apparently, I might have posted the wrong time. Wasn't supposed to go live till 8 o'clock. Listen, guys, every Saturday at 8 o'clock. I meant to set up the live stream a little bit sooner than this, but that's kind of that's kind of what happened, I guess. But anyways, we are back. We are in the house. We're gonna let some people start to fill in, and we'll get to some of the stuff that I got planned for today. I've been getting lambasted with questions, and the YouTube channel is growing. It is really, really starting to grow. In fact, I'm looking at some of my analytics right now, and all I can really do is thank you guys. This is it's just awesome. It really is. And the fact that you guys tune in like this regularly, um, just awesome. I can't even express my gratitude enough. So if I go up, I yeah, Shepim Valut, yes. As a matter of fact, throughout the week, I've been working on getting some live streams up earlier in the day for you guys in the UK, and I really appreciate you guys for tuning in. Um, it means a lot. So in the last 28 days, I could just read some of this stuff for you guys. In the last 28 days, my views are up 69%. 284,000 views are up 69%. My watch time is up 59%. I got almost 3,000 subscribers in the last 28 days. And it's going really, really well. More well than I could have hoped. So it's just awesome to have you guys with me here today. And so today's class is basically for you guys. I didn't put together an actual curriculum today because I feel like we're kind of falling behind a little. I don't want to say we're falling behind, but I feel like I could have been more thorough about certain things. And I just want to revisit each one of these topics, whatever it is you're struggling with, and we're going to definitely hammer that home. What's up, 70s? And obviously, before I go any further, I do want to mention the talent show. Most of you guys know, but what maybe you don't know is that's not the rules. Here's the rules. And what maybe you don't know is I only have had like I think two or three people enter so far, and I really want to get more people in this thing. It's for $100. You guys should all send a video in. You guys should all send a video in. So just a quick recap on these rules. Oh, and by the way, how does my microphone sound? You guys know that I spent another $200 to upgrade this setup. This is a pretty dope mic. I'm really happy with it. It sounds good in my ears. And I just wanted to make sure that I was bringing you guys like the highest level of audio that I'm capable of, which is surprisingly difficult in a live stream. Um, so the rules are as follows here. Nothing. That just shrunk it, huh? Nothing inappropriate. We don't want any swearing in the video. We don't want anything that I can't put on here on YouTube. We don't want anything that the hit squad is going to take down. So no inappropriate. Keep it family friendly. Please introduce yourself. Tell us about your talent within your 1 minute video minimum, 3 minute maximum. Submit it to IG. Please have it submitted by next Wednesday, which is April 22nd, and we will announce the finalists on April 26th. So again, this has nothing to do with barbering per se. It can. I'm not excluding that, but I'm saying this doesn't have anything to do with barbering. This is just strictly how do I get a thumbs down this early in? Like I'm literally not even 3 minutes in and I got a thumbs down. Thank you. Can all the other people in this room give some thumbs up to counteract that guy who's obviously subscribed to me just to thumb me down? But hopefully we can make it work opposite from what he feels. So, anyways, um, that's the deal. We're gonna do $100 giveaway, and literally we're just gonna transfer you $100 to your PayPal account, Venmo, however the hell you want it. If you want me to get a gift card and send it to you, I'll do that. And we know the other cool thing about catching me on these lives is I'm gonna do a giveaway. I'm not sure if you guys heard, but from now on, every single live for the foreseeable future until I've gotten rid of every little extra thing that I got. If But MMA said it's because I'm late. Now listen, so every single live for the foreseeable future, I plan on trying to do a giveaway. So that's it. Period. I'm gonna give away, and I'm gonna give away nice stuff too. Like, all right, some of it might not be as John Blaze as the rest, but like my plan is to give away nice stuff. So that's kind of the thing. And let me get my email address up so that when we get towards the end, please, if anybody would like their work critiqued, go ahead and send it to me now. I realize that a lot of you guys sent it to me after the video was over, and I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna have time to go through the ones that were sent. But like whenever I'm live, if you send them to me live, I can bring them onto the screen after that, and it's just really easy if it comes through email. So just go ahead and email me at masterprimetime@gmail.com, and I'll drop your photos right in this video, and we can get to work on critiquing what you need. So the first thing I'm wanting to do is I want to go back through my other lives just quickly, verbally. Hey, what up? 1, 2, 3, 4. What up? And anybody who has any questions, please fire away. I've been getting a lot of questions on the live. I believe one of them, if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, I think it was you, and you said that you got your masters, your Andis Masters, and you said that the lever was really stiff, and I think you said you had one other problem also. Um, it's common for the new Andis Masters to have a stiff lever when you first get them, but after you use them a little bit and you work them a little bit more, they do get better. However, if you choose to loosen this, which you can, the performance, according to John from 614 Barber Supply, who like I talk to these guys and they tell me kind of like the ins and outs of it, and he told me if you loosen this, that's when people were kind of running into trouble with it getting a lot louder. So don't loosen it. If I were you, I would just try to make sure that you keep it oiled, keep it clean, and just keep using it. It'll get better. Mine was like that too, and it got better. But they are loud. Like you ain't gonna be able to use these in a nursing home. You'll wake up somebody who needs hearing aids. All right. Hey, I'm looking to be a barber and own a barber shop, but I'm 35. Do you think it's too old? Hell no, man. I didn't even get my own barbershop. I didn't even own my own barbershop until last year, and I'm 32. So it's definitely not too old. You're never too old to do something. In fact, um, you're just never too old to follow the passion that you want in life. So don't be afraid to take those steps, and don't use that as an excuse to let you walk away from something that you really want to do. So don't use that as a cop out. Just start putting a plan together, make steps in between that plan, and start to implement those steps. So as you go, and I would actually, I would love to I would love to probably start expanding on like some editing stuff in some of my videos, just to show you guys how to put together some really cool barber videos, really cool like stuff that you might want to use to advertise for when we come back. And we are going to talk about the comeback, guys. And I wanted to know if you guys are being honest. Is anybody cutting hair right now? I don't. Uh, I'm not gonna ridicule you or anything, but if anybody is cutting hair right now, I'm just curious about it. So I'm just gonna quickly go through the episodes. Um, in the very first episode one, we talked about like tools. We talked about briefly some techniques, and we went through the fade scale. In episode two, we talked about clipper over comb, which I probably shouldn't have done right away, and we are definitely going to circle back to that because that's a big topic, and I think we need to expound on it. Um, episode number three, we got into the blend. We got into the blend pretty good, and we just talked about that. But the funny thing is, the blend seems to come up. The blend seems to come up an awful lot. We seem to be struggling on the blend. Episode four, that was the blend. Sorry. Episode five, I kind of retooled and re-explained some stuff. We did a Q&A one. Um, we did erasing the skin line. Now that one went over pretty well. The the uh, the skin line, the erasing the skin line video is probably one that we need to circle back to because I think that there was a lot of interest there, and we definitely had a fair amount of views on that one. It looks like we did like 1,907 views, and people were hanging around. That was a long video too. The self cut, we talked about that. We talked about barber tools, the budget, and then we dropped the talent show. So that brings us up to today. So we haven't really covered scissor cutting, shear over comb, and obviously all these topics are gonna need we're gonna need to like kind of continue to elaborate on each one. So, all right. Can't buy clippers here. They're all sold out in the UK. Is that right? Huh. I can't. That's the thing. The funniest thing to me is the type of clippers. The type of clippers that are sold out is is just astounding to me. Like garbage clippers are being sold out. And one of these other things that's frustrating to me, I absolutely use clipper over comb. I use it all the time. I use it horizontally. I use it vertically, but more often than not, I actually prefer to use it diagonally. I got my comb in here somewhere. I thought I had a comb. Oh yeah, I do. Right here. All right. So when I'm using this comb in the hair, more often than not, I use it on a diagonal. So I don't always use it horizontally unless it's one of those situations where I can press it directly into my client's head and sort of tip it out and leave it there while I'm just knocking what sticks out off. But if I'm doing like a true clipper over comb, it's almost a little more helpful to hold it on a diagonal when I cut it, because a diagonal helps you to scoop it up and lift it out, and it just sits in the comb a little bit easier. So it does seem like if you're in the UK, you might have to go to eBay for these clippers, because it's interesting. For a long time, I've always been saying that clippers are not a consumer good product, which is why we always take a backseat to technology. Let's face it, they could put all kinds of sophisticated electronics within clippers, and they could almost be as sophisticated as a cell phone in some regard. But we always take a backseat to technology, and that's because we're not a consumer grade product. I mean, 1 out of every 10 people might be a barber. Maybe it's less. I don't really know. But the fact that more people are starting to buy them, and it's crazy how what they're buying. They're buying junk, and they're being sold junk, and they're not even buying barber grade really stuff in most cases. They're buying like these Conairs from Walmart or whatever. Got like 3 guards with them, and they're sending me questions like, "Hey, what does this guard do? What does that guard do?" And I have no idea what that company did. I mean, they're not exactly legitimate stuff that we would even consider to use. And then earlier today, I seen a disheartening video, because I feel like I'm over here pouring my heart out into some of these other videos, and my videos are not really blowing up like they used to in some cases. And I seen this guy, I guess he's like a doctor or something, and he did a self haircut, and it was horrible. I mean, everything about everything about what he was telling people is just not going to work. And here he was, like 3 days later at 50,000 views, and I'm like, are people really buying into this? Like, how'd you get stuck in that algorithm? But I don't understand it. Obviously, they're going for whatever else is left. It's it is what it is. Um, so the other thing that's interesting is I did some cuts today, people. I did some cuts today. All right. I don't know, how it is in every other state or whatever, but to be honest, in the area of Florida that I'm in, there's not very many cases at all, and we were taking every precaution we could, and I just couldn't stand it. There was so many text messages coming in. What was I supposed to do? I mean, literally, I had 100 people texting me or something like every day, and it's just getting crazy. I just can't take it anymore. So I'm not hating on anybody for cutting, as long as you're taking precautions. It was mask, gloves, Lysol. Every precaution was taken. One person, in the shop at a time, whatever. But that gave me some time to really put in some work from these ergos. And I gotta say, I'm blown away. I never expected to say this, but oh, and by the way, that dude had 3,000 subscribers. 3,000. I have 67,000 subscribers, and I'm lucky to get 2,000 views in a week. And this dude has 3,000 subscribers because 50,000 views in 3 days, telling people garbage. Whatever, YouTube. I get it, but the thing is, I actually had some time to put this clipper to the test, and I just I just can't say like I'm really blown away. I really went into these with like my expectations were, we're not super high. I didn't know what was really going to happen, but as I began to break this clipper in, I started to notice that not only was I gravitating towards this, besides the fact I have an Andis Masters on my station, I have several wall clippers, a 1919 and a Magic Clip, and I totally ignored them, even in the moments where I was totally unconsciously picking up the clippers. Like I felt myself wanting to pick this up again, never snagged, never pulled, and I knocked out some dank work. I mean, I'm not even joking. So don't you know what I'm saying? Like I don't get it. I'm not gonna hate on anybody for cutting. I seen a dude on Instagram earlier today, really right before I launched the show. I seen a guy on Instagram right before I watched the show. I got a this is a good question. Great Dane, Eddie, what site should I use to make some business cards? Oh, you know what is dope about making business cards? It's actually really easy to do on Photoshop. So, what I would recommend that you do is find the size of the business card that you want, set up the Photoshop file, make it however you want to make it on Photoshop, go to Vistaprint, and you'll get them for like dirt cheap. Or you can go to Illusion, and Illusion makes some dope video. He makes some dope cards, and you can buy them right from the Instagram site. And let's see here. Could you go over the compressed fade? Yes, we can talk about that. Definitely, we're gonna go over this. Actually, this is a good one to go over. But before I switch to the board, we're gonna switch to the board for this one. Before I do that, though, I just want to mention there was a barber today who posted, and it went on Barber since '98. It was on there, and apparently the story goes that this guy has been in business for 5 years. He said it had been quite successful, and he is closing his shop due to coronavirus. He can't afford the rent anymore. He's 2 months delinquent. The landlord does not want to work with him, and he's going out of business. All right. I totally get it. If you're in a state that's totally locked down, do you guys know that Florida's order to stay home is not a stay at home order? It's a safer at home order. Whatever that means, I'm not really afraid of it. It is what it is. But I'm just saying it's a safer at home order. So I totally understand if there's people who are locked down and you can't get to your shops and the landlord wants to keep charging you. You know what kind of makes me want to pull my hair out about this? Most of these landlords, if they give you some forgiveness on your rent, they could write it off for free. They could literally write it off for free. They would make no loss whatsoever, and they're gonna let this place go empty. It just bothers me that this guy's got to give up his business over something so stupid. And if the landlord could have worked with him, he would have been fine. What do you think he should have done? So, all right, let's see what we got going on here. We want to talk about the compressed. We want to talk about the compressed fade. See, this is the other problem here too. People are willing to pay double for a barber to come to their house. Let me ask you this. How safe is it to go to somebody's house? Answer, it's not safe at all. You don't know where they've been. You don't know how clean their house is. You can't control your environment. It's so much more safe to go to the barbershop where you can be there ahead of time. You can have gloves on before this dude even comes near you. You can have a mask on before he even opens the door. You can have Lysol sprayed all over the chair, and you can have all your stuff disinfected and be sitting in the air conditioning with the proper lights, with the proper setup, and produce a much better haircut. What sense does it actually make to go to somebody's house where it could be dirty? People could have been there. They might be partying. You don't know. I mean, this staying at home stuff is obviously starting to bother me because I just don't see it going away. But all right, enough. I'm sorry if I'm ranting about this coronavirus. Forget about it. Let's move on to the board and let's talk about this compressed fade. All right. So what we're essentially looking for here, if you guys have heard me talk about setting your guidelines, right? Now, one way that you guys can set your guidelines is let's say that you were at this guy's ear. Well, that's a really bad ear. Okay. So you're at this guy's ear, right? You could set your skin line in. As a matter of fact, it might be fun to do that too. Let's see how my drawing skills are looking today. That looks pretty good. I mean, it's better than my normal drawing, right? All right, let's just say this is his sideburn. All right, so I promised in one of the videos that I was actually going to talk about high, medium, and low fades as well. And you know what the hell? Let's see what's this gonna look like. Okay, all right. You know, it ain't beautiful. It ain't beautiful. I'll give you that. But all right, I was gonna talk about like high, medium, and low fades, or like drop fades and stuff like that, right? One of the things, one of the things is you want to kind of know about this. This is the parietal ridge, right? So when I place this comb flat up against the side of my head, you can see right where it leaves the hair. That's the parietal ridge. All right. Generally speaking, we're going to say that that's around right here. So anytime that you put a line on or close to this, you're guaranteed going to have a high fade. Okay. And if this guy's hair is going to be long on top, you're not going to give yourself much space to work with. In which case, you're going to have to say, get it done in between there and there to have it blend in properly, right? You're not going to have much room to work with, so your fade's going to have to be really compressed, okay? And that's why this is kind of important to this topic, and that's why we're going to discuss it. People ask me about the tapers all the time. So the taper is very simple, okay? In many cases, if you want to leave some of the C cup, you can make your line back this way in like the shape of a U. You can just ball them out just like that so you can preserve some of this hairline, and then you can work your steps that I always talk about. One of the things that sort of bothers me a little bit about the channel, a little bit about some of the questions I get is you guys might ask me, can you do a taper? Can you do a high fade? Can you do a low fade? Can you do... But what some of you guys may not understand is you're actually asking for the same thing. The process is not necessarily going to change too much no matter where you decide to implement it on the head. The only difference is you might wind up higher or you might wind up lower, okay? So if we're doing a taper, obviously we're going to blow out the sideburns. If you were going to do a high taper fade, you might take it all the way up high on the temple, all the way up behind the ear a little bit even, and you're going to just fade this way. Now here's going to be your steps moving up this way, okay? So enough with the temple fade. If I was going to do a drop fade, I wanted to keep it low and follow the contour of the head. As I move around back, I'm going to come low. The only part that's going to be skin, we'll say one finger from the ear, and we'll drop down on the neck a little bit. This is good if people got a really bad occipital bone that you don't want to fight with. They don't want to bring that too high. They want to keep that covered. I had a client before that has a scar that he wants to keep it covered. Great idea. Use the drop fade. Some people just like the look, so you can do the drop fade. It doesn't make a whole lot of difference if you decide to not drop it in the back and go all the way around. Now you're going to be creeping on to like a mid fade, okay? So generally, what we're talking about here is kind of subjective, but mid fade, low fade, high fade, there's definitely a good possibility that a lot of barbers might view this a little bit differently, and you might actually get different results. So it's important that you consultate your clients properly, okay? So let's go back to talking about that compressed fade for just another second here. I'm gonna get rid of my beautiful drawing. And I'm just going to say this. The steps need to be a little bit smaller in between. All right. So if I was, say, on my trimmer line, I'll put my trimmer, and I already did skin, so I'll just put an S for that. So let's say that I'm almost done with phase one here. I got my skin, my line, all that stuff is debulked, and it's time to put in my next step. Okay. My next step in a fade where I'm compressed, I have a couple different options here, but let's just say that we want to keep the guidelines a little bit closer together. All right. We want them a little more compressed. So this fade can occur in less time and be done and look a certain type of way versus, you know, if I was to just do a fade that was a little more stretched out and a little more evenly distributed. I hope I answered your question thoroughly. So let's see what else we got going on here. All right, let's see. Thankfully, my house call friends. Too high causes pineappling. I think a small circle taper looks horrible, but maybe to each their own. High taper fade at least. He's a big fan of the high taper face. Okay, occipital bone, vocab, and illustration text. Oh, okay, this is cool. Okay, so what I'm talking about here is I'm using reference points. So let's just go over some reference points really quick. Okay, one very important reference point is the apex. The apex I can be found by tipping the comb back and forth on the center of my head vertically and then horizontally. finding the highest point of the head. That's your apex. The parietal ridge found by putting the comb sideways on the top of the head, just like this. So the other thing is you got the bone that protrudes from the back of your neck, the base of your skull. You got the occipital bone, right? Anything that goes on below that, that's called the nape. And the reason why we have these reference points is because if I told you, hey, make a 1/4 inch parting in the nape, you would know to make a 1/4 inch parting down in the nape. Hey, somebody gave me a thumbs down and then they changed it. They changed it to a thumbs up. And I want to see a couple more thumbs up. Let's go. Let's go. Um, but that's kind of the difference. So what helps me to communicate to certain students is if we both understand what reference points we're talking about and we can clearly identify that. Yeah, and Ivy Mac is absolutely right. High, low, mid, burst, they're all picked by the person in the chair. All right. Mohawk fade, all this stuff. So I understand that it could be a little bit overwhelming to you at first when you're like clients are asking you all this different stuff. You're like, well, I've done some fades. I never did a temple fade. I never did maybe I never did a high fade. I never did a low fade. Well, the thing is, you're still doing fades and you understand the process. You understand the process, and that's what's cool. So it's just about knowing where to set those lines and how to implement it so that you can be consistent and you can get your job done properly. Thank you for the thumbs up twice. I know, right? I know. So football season is coming up. The Bills are looking good, and God, I hope they don't cancel. I hope they don't cancel the season. I will be distraught. I will be distraught. So, uh-oh. Yeah, they canceled school in Florida for the rest of the year, so we're going to be homeschooling for even longer than we thought. It's been wonderful, you know, figuring out the whole homeschooling process. Oh, what's up? My mom is in the house. He said I have to put 8K away for barber school, and that's pretty well the price in our area. I'm sure that there's other places around the country that are actually more. 8,000 is not bad. I mean, look at it this way: if you cut hair in, if you're fairly busy and you're cutting hair in a day, let's just say that you do 20 haircuts a day and you only charge $20. You're going to make $400 right there. Most people charge more than $20, and I'm not even factoring tips. So $400, you do it 5 days a week, you're going to make $2,000 a week. Theoretically speaking, you can have that $8,000 paid off a lot faster than you might realize if you can minimize your expenses and be fiscally responsible. Do the 4,000 hours YouTube homeschooling. That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, that's interesting. 123 says we don't even have barber schools here. I know he's from the UK. I learned from this channel and other YouTubers, and I don't know what they do over there, but I remember there was a situation where we had a transfer student who came to the United States, and he was trying to become a barber, but he was a barber in the UK. So the whole thing was kind of weird because I guess the UK, maybe if I'm understanding this correctly, they didn't differentiate between beauticians and barbers. So I guess if you're a hair person there, you're just a hair person there. Is that how that works? I'm not really all up to stuff on all that. Just seeing how that goes. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention, Ant the Barber, I sent him the Gamma Absolute hitters with the ceramic blade. And yo, if you guys haven't checked out one of his latest videos, I don't know if it's the latest video he did, but if you guys haven't checked it out, he was loving them. He was loving them. He was loving them. So actually, hold up, I'm about to show you guys let's let's scrutinize my haircut. You guys want to scrutinize one of my haircuts? I'll show you one I did today. I'm just sending it over to my computer right now. Oh. Download folder. Taking a minute. Boom. Got it. Rum was talking about that. Look, there's something to be said about Gamma, is that they really care about what barbers have to say about it. I mean, Austin must ask me every day, how do you like the ergo? Can you tell me what's wrong with it? What's your feeling on the absolute hitter? What could we do different? Like they're really focused in on that in a way that I've never really experienced. Like they are actively listening. And one of the other interesting things that they're doing is they're going to create double magnetic guards that are supposed to be just like the Andis ones, but they're going to fit wall. And they're going to have a half guard that's like the good half guards before they created the nano half guards. So I'm really interested to see that. All right, you guys, this is one of the cuts I did today. This is with the absolute hitter. This kid's hair is a mop. I've been waiting for the day. I'm waiting for the day for this kid to call it quits on this cut, but he is not ready to call it quits on this cut. It's funny. I've been cutting this kid's hair since he was probably like, I don't know, 10. Don't get that mustache too close. I know, right? It will. It really will. So, you guys are saying that someone is paying 20K to go to barber school. Now, one of the problems with that is you're not getting in most cases you're not getting a lot of value out of barber school, and that's why I started this channel. The whole reason was I know that not every barber school can afford to pay a good instructor. Instructors who are good would just be barbers, and they would just be making money, and they wouldn't be in a school working for like $20 an hour. Is just not going to happen. So what would you have to pay a barber instructor? You'd have to pay him 40, 50, $60 an hour to keep him, and most people are not going to be able to do that. So you're going to wind up with somebody who is either close to retirement, or maybe if you're lucky, you find somebody who's passionate and they're there. But the problem with paying a lot for barber school, if you feel like you find a barber school that's worth 10,000 and this one's worth 20,000, I would tell you to go for the 10, because you're going to get done with paying for it sooner, and you can go and you can read and you can learn and you can watch videos and you can grow on your own. So why spend that extra money if you're going to do that? So he said leave the hair, leave the hair. Are you asking if that was a high fade, Alberto? That I would say that was about a mid fade. I put the line in. You want me to bring it back up for a second? I put the line in. Um, let's see here. Yeah, I put the line in right about his temple here. So let me stop this like right about here. All right, so yeah, I put the line in. I began the line at about his temple, and you know what's very fun to work with tools when they're all lined up properly. When they're all lined up properly. Um, when you go ahead and you find out exactly how to work properly, like maybe you have a trimmer that hits really close. Okay, it hits really close. Maybe you don't put your lines in with that. You save that to bail you out if you need to work on that line. Um, Number two, if you have a nice 5-0 on your detachable clipper that works well with your electric shaver and they just balance out perfectly, and then when you go to that 000 on that next step up, uh, man, it really makes the process really smooth. So one of the things that I had somebody reach out to me earlier about, and they were like, hey, I bought this pair of clippers from like Walmart or something. They're not cutting. I tried to oil it. I tried to do everything. Well, one of the things too you really got to watch out for with any clipper. Any clipper will cut not good at all if there is one of these blades is cockeyed. These blades need to be parallel with each other, regardless of how high or how close you want to set it. These fades, these blades need to be balancing on each other. J Beats and Waves says, "What about the apprenticeship? I've recently semi-educated myself about the apprenticeship because I didn't do the apprenticeship per se, but I did have a one-on-one with a gentleman from California, and he was weighing the same thing, and we went in and we looked up what the state guidelines were. And as a matter of fact, what state are you in, J Beats and Waves? Because I can look it up real quick for you and tell you, but it sounded like the apprenticeship program was a little bit risky. It Oh yeah, thank you, Joseph. I wanted to mention this. I wanted to mention the neck dusters. The neck dusters gotta go, guys. They gotta go. Look, man. Um, when we come back to the barbershop, when we come back all the way in, what up, Juan? What up, Juan? Good to see you. When we come back in the barbershop and we make our entrance back into the world over here, all right, I think that we need to be vigilant and we need to think about things that are touching multiple clients that can't be cleaned properly. And most states have already outlawed neck dusters. So it's time that we just get rid of them. Put them away. Get yourself a stack of towels. They work just as good. Use one towel for each client and toss it out and wash it out. Because when you get down to it, we need to be extremely careful. We need to be extremely careful about contaminating people. He lives in Chicago. Also, it's not hard to do 20 cuts a day. I'm gonna put that one up there either. It's not hard to do 20 cuts a day. It's very doable. The most cuts that I've ever managed to be able to do in a day was 39. So just to show you, it's not impossible at all. Chicago weather. It's 55 degrees in Chicago. I'm looking it up right now. So Chicago Barber Apprentice. Barber Apprentice is in Chicago. Let's see what does the story how does the story unfold here? They have to have like a DVPR here. So I'm trying to find their requirements because it sounded like the applicants for the okay, I see, ninth grade education. So they make sure that you got your okay. Let's see here. An apprentice barber or stylist shall engage in learning or the limited practice of barbering styling for a period of 18 months, full employment, minimum 30 hours per week, to be eligible to take the state board barber stylist licensing examination. Applicants for barber stylist exam must be at least 16 years of age and have a ninth grade education or the equivalent. Well, what I'm wondering is what happens if you begin what happens if you begin an apprenticeship with somebody and they fire you? It sounds a little bit risky. It says right here, apprentices are not charged for training and do not rent booths. By applying for an apprentice license, you will forfeit any prior student hours or credit for endorsements from another state. Shop owners receiving tuition fees from any apprentice shall be classified as a school and will be subject to all provisions enforced by Maryland Higher Education Commission. Well, I don't know. To go the apprenticeship way, it seems fair, but my curiosity is what if you begin to get involved with an apprenticeship program and it falls through? Do you get to transfer your hours and move on to another state? How long did it take you to do these 39 cuts? Okay, on days where I did like 37 to 39 cuts, I usually would come in at 5 a.m. and I would just straight up crank till about 5 p.m. So straight up crank 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. And on a day like that, that's obviously a really good day. You're definitely going to make between $800 and $900. No problem. Especially if I was to do that now, which I'm not really as apt to want to do this. Remember, guys, I've been doing this for 18 years. All right, this isn't at this point. I'm trying to figure out ways to make this enjoyable, make myself want to work, and I definitely don't want to come in and just feel like just sapped, because you gotta live to fight another day here, and there's going to obviously be there's going to be like a tax on how good you can be all day. Like when you get to the end of the day, it's going to be really hard for you to give that same quality that you were given to your first clients. Let's see here. Ivy Mac, yo, did you get my video? Is this for Ivy Mac? Is this for a critique or is this for the competition or the talent show? And Salvatore, that was in regards to Chicago barber license, I guess, but it might have been Maryland. Okay, here we go. Illinois American Barber Association. This is the one I should have went to. 39 cuts would land me some good income in Trinidad. I'm sure 39 cuts will land you some good income probably anywhere. It says right here, this must be the Illinois American Barber Association. Barber apprentices gain instant credibility as members of the ABA. Starting out as a new barber isn't easy. They have to learn, blah blah blah. Sounds like this is some kind of unionized thing. Okay, of $1,500. So let me ask you this too about the barber apprentice too. The other thing. Okay, Ivy, I'm gonna check this once this is done. Starting out as a new apprentice though, this is one thing that concerns me is you guys are probably not going to spend a lot of time on the material it's going to take to pass the state board, and that's a risk right there in of itself. If you're the type of person who can buckle down, study, and pass this test, God bless you, more power to you. But some of this stuff is it's very subjective and it can be very tough. Hey, what up, JL? Good to see you. Some of this stuff can be very subjective, and it's just so much easier to have an instructor explain it to you. For instance, let's just talk about the pH scale for a second. They might ask you something about perms with hydrochloride perms, or they might ask you like a cold perm or a hot perm or an acid balance perm. What pH range does it fall in? Okay, and you don't even know much about the pH scale. You don't even understand like the most prerequisite information. So for you to even memorize it, it's going to be difficult. So all I'm saying is if you had a good instructor like myself, and I was like, the pH scale runs from 0 to 14, 7 is neutral, 0 to 7, that would be falling in the acid range, and 7 to 14 falls in the alkaline range. Alkaline range tends to soften and swell, and acid balance tends to harden and contract. If you didn't know this prerequisite information, it's going to be difficult for you to pass these tests because unfortunately there's a lot of nonsense on these tests still that for reasons I can't understand is still allowed to go on. Why we have to learn about straight razor, stroping, honing, the type of leather that they use. It's ridiculous. It's archaic. We don't even do any of the sharpening anymore. I understand that there's this need to preserve our history, but like really we don't use them things. Why are they on the state board still? But they are. All right, let's get into some of these questions here. When using the Masters, do you have to use the no guard halfway to fully remove the bottom of the zero guard line? All right, let me place myself where he's at here. Do you find you have to use the zero guard halfway, the no guard halfway, to fully remove the bottom of the zero guard line? I don't know. I'm not sure what your process is or where you're at in that point, so it's kind of difficult for me to say that you should or you shouldn't, but you should be using the full range of your clippers probably anyways. Wonder how much money those LA barbers that charge $500 a cut for a regular $20 haircut make. I think they make $500. Yeah, that would be a nice position to find yourself in. If you could spend as much time as you wanted to spend with a customer and you felt zero rush, you could spend like 2 hours with a guy and you didn't feel like you were leveraging your house to spend this time with him, it would be really nice. I would love to have a situation like that where I was getting paid a good amount, enough money to truly try to do the absolute best work I can. But the reality is most of us are in the trenches and we have 20 to 25 minutes to get it right. Now, with the additional amount of cleaning I found myself doing today in between clients, it was crazy. I was behind. I'm not normally a person who's behind, but now I realize my appointment times are going to have to get extended. I'm going to have to spend an extensive amount of money on all this cleaning stuff, and none of my bills are going down. So there's a lot of talk about people raising their prices. Well, this is a good one. The penalty for non-licensed barbers who are cutting in barbershops. This is a good question because a lot of people wonder about this. The penalty is generally, if I'm telling you from honest world experience, there is occasional times where they might warn you. But in the state of Florida, the penalty is $500 to the barber and $500 also to the owner on the first offense. The second offense, I believe it. I could be wrong, but I'm going back a little ways. I haven't looked at the law packets in a while, but I want to say it's $1,000. And if you do it enough times, they will remove your ability to even get your license. So, for instance, if you were on your way, getting close to getting your license, and you got caught twice, you might not want to push it that third time because they might remove you from being able to get your license altogether, which would be a disaster. $1,000 penalty in California. Um, that's it, man. It just it isn't worth it. It isn't worth it. Thank you. Briggs backing tracks. Love your content, Eddie. I just wondered why you gave up the teaching. You guys can tell that I love to help people out. I love to teach. I love to sit here. I can talk about any one of these subjects all day. And there's times where I was teaching and I would like get in at 8 a.m. and I would look at the clock and it'd already be 10 p.m. because the day would just go by so fast and so fun for me that I never even realized the time was passing. But the reality is teaching doesn't really pay the bills. And my dreams were aligned with I wanted ownership of a shop. I also wanted to start my own video company. And once those things took off, I also have two kids. I just found myself totally stretched. And when I was looking around at what had to go, unfortunately, it had to be the school. Wow, I got a lot more comments down here. I just seen you guys all popped up here. And my Aunt Marie's watching too. How about that? After the third time your state cuts your hair with a Flowbee. Why are the Flowbees flying off the shelves? Can anybody tell me? Okay, Steve. What I charge for a fade, I charge $25, and I'm kicking around the idea of possibly moving it up to 30. Because of the extent. Like this was my thing. Here we have $25 for a 25-minute appointment. And if I move my appointment time up to say 30 to 45 minutes, I mean, let's say I move it up to 40 minutes, right? That's what, 15 minutes more? Okay. And I charge only $5 more. You guys see the problem with this? If we chose to raise our prices, let's say we were charging $20 just to make it easy, $20 for a 20-minute appointment. You extend it to 40 minutes and you keep it $20. How would that make any sense? We're gonna lose an additional opportunity to make another client right there, and it's just not sensible. So at some point, these prices are probably gonna have to come up because it doesn't even make sense to stay in business. If I'm charging $25 a haircut and it's taking me roughly 45 minutes to do each haircut, that means I would be lucky to do 12 in a day. 12 in a day is not going to pay my rent. The rent is expensive. And unless these people want to go to a shop that's like an armpit, it's unclean, it's not watched over, there's unlicensed barbers, there's bad activity going on, um, I think that they're going to be willing to pay. I think that they're going to be willing to pay. But I just hate the fact that it might look like I'm trying to hit people while they're down. Because the reality is a lot of people are down on their luck right now. Their income is lower than it was. They may have lost their job. They may be struggling and they may have loved your shop before that. And it just sucks to, it breaks my heart to want to do that because the whole time I ever started this thing, I try to put myself in the position of my customers and I want to keep it affordable so that a guy with his son or with two sons can come to the local barbershop like myself, spend time with me, enjoy his time with me, and not feel like he's being pickpocketed. You know, that's what I always wanted to do. I never wanted to have to turn away a family of five because it's just so expensive that they can't get cut. Because that's what made me love going to the barbershop. Raise them 15. That hazard pay. He said you got to get a good atmosphere. I like it. I like it. Listen, Alice, Alice, I'm probably saying it wrong. I'm gonna hire you to stand out front and you're gonna be my liaison. I want you to explain to my customers that the price went up. This way they don't even gotta hear it from me. They hear from somebody else, you soften them up at the door. By the time they get to me, it'll be nice and loose, the pockets will flow, and we'll be good to go. Hey, it's your birthday, JL. Happy birthday to you. Um, Me and Aunt sang happy birthday to somebody's somebody's kid the other day. See, that's the interesting thing because what are you guys charging? Let's hear what your guys' prices are. The house calls are doing double the price. Um, it's interesting because people are willing to pay a lot of money right now to get a haircut, and double the price sounds fair for a house call. But all right, let's say I charge $50, but I gotta think about all the additional time that's going into this too. Is it even really worth it, even for $50? What if some guy calls me right now and he's like, "Yo, Ed, I'll cut your hair. I'll give you $50," and he's on the other side of town. So now I get all my stuff together. I get in the car. I go at best 20, 30 minutes to get there, 20, 30 minutes to get home. That's an hour right there. Now I'm doing his haircut. Let's say that takes an hour. So you're telling me in 2 hours I'm gonna make $50. I almost think that a house call has to be more than that. And one thing that I've experienced with house calls is when you do them, they typically don't pay. A lot of times they don't pay that much. They won't pay you a tip. And sometimes, obviously you have your generous folks, which those are the houses you're going to wind up at. I remember seeing that video where there was this barber. He kept bothering his client. He he kept bothering his barber, and his barber didn't want to cut him. He was calling him, texting him, leaving him messages, and finally he showed up at his door. And his barber's like, "Yo, I'm not cutting no hair. It's quarantine. I can't help you." And he's like, "Yeah, but I got this $500. I thought maybe you could do it." He's like, "Well, why didn't you just say that in the first place? Come on in, man." Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get to that. I actually have gotten a bunch of emails while I've been sitting here. If anybody else wants to send a haircut to be critiqued, I'll be happy. I'll be happy. Chevanese says happy birthday to JL. Happy birthday, my friend. All right, so it looks like you guys are charging pretty close to me. $20 a fade, +5 with beard, +5 with hot towel, +5 with enhanced lineup. So you're gonna do the hot towel and the shave, so it's gonna work out to be $30. With the hot towel, the problem is you got to do all that laundry. You have to do all that laundry too. So you got to factor in the time that takes. I would raise my prices if I were you. I don't want to even touch somebody's face unless it's an extra $20 because sometimes it feels like we're bending over dollars to pick up pennies. How many times have we wasted a ridiculous amount of time on a beard and nowhere near as much time on a haircut because we just had to get it right. We had to get it right. We worked so hard on it. And then I look and I'm like, I've been in this for 40 minutes and I'm only making an extra $10 for that beard. I would have been much better off seating a new customer and telling him no beard or charging him enough to either make him A, not want to get a beard with me, or B, if he does choose to get a beard with me, it makes it worth my while. A cosmetologist, I only do men's haircuts and I charge $28. I think it's fair. I think it's fair. I do. This is a good question here. Plaza OG, how long did it take you to when I first started? Okay, I'll give you that. When I first started my very first job, I think I told this story like a week ago or so. But my very first job, I was at a Supercuts, and they just threw me to the wolves. All right, and I didn't really know much about cutting hair. I probably felt about as uncomfortable about it as you did. Maybe I had a tiny bit more training, but beyond that, I didn't know what I was doing at all. I did 20 people that day, and they threw me to the wolves, and it was uncomfortable, and it was nerve-wracking. I was doing long hair. I was doing women's hair. I was doing men's hair. It was right next to a military base. We were doing fades, and then they were coming out probably bad as hell compared to now. I wish I could go back and see it, but I can honestly say it was only 3 weeks of that intense amount of work. I started to feel like, yo, I'm kind of John Blaze right now. Like I don't feel no kind of way. Like I'll take on anything. I started feeling confident with the flat tops, confident with the fades, confident with the long haircuts. I think Supercuts was a great proving ground. It was a great proving ground to get me comfortable. So if I was new and I was starting out, throw yourself into the fire, man. Throw yourself into the fire. All right, let's start with Steve. I'm going to drop some of his work here. And just so you guys know, Steve has been cutting hair for, let's see here, I think 8 weeks, I think he said. Where did I see that part? Okay, yeah. He said the second one was my first attempt at a fade. I didn't have a shaver at the time. I've been cutting hair for only 8 weeks prior to the pandemic. I'm going to tell you right now, if I was cutting hair this good, 8 weeks in, this ain't bad, man. This is not bad at all. Now, mind you, there's some improvements to be had here. There's a little bit of improvements to be had here. But when you really get down to it, this is not bad work at all. I can tell you right now, this kind of hair is tough to fade. It's difficult to get it all the way down the skin and get this blend and this transition. And some of this you did really well. Down here in the beard, I would blend that in a little bit better. It's just a pet peeve of mine. I like that to actually, blend in really smooth from my beard. And one way that you can do that is you take your clipper right over the well, everything's opposite. All right, you take your clipper right over the area where your beard is, put it in the open position, go down about an inch, and then close it little by little until you have it all the way closed towards the very top. You knock out that last little bit of bulk, and you will have that perfect. In the parietal ridge area, it looks like you could have ran a 1 1/2 open, 1 1/2 closed. You could have just followed, trap your fade, trap it between the 1 1/2 and the 1, because this is where the issue is in this cut. So go to the 1 1/2, open it, keep it on an angle, keep it flat, close it, see what that does. If that doesn't do anything, let's flip it over to the 1, open it, and close it. So you've trapped your issue in between those 2 steps, and you're going to be able to get it. By the way, do you guys think my mic sounds pretty good? Does this sound any better than it did last week? I would love to know. Um, Many of you guys who are watching the show, you guys have been here a while. You guys have been in on like every live. I love you for it, and I just want to know: does this mic sound any better? Let's move on to one more from Steve here. This is a part of. Oh, it's a 3-part. Okay, so that's cool that it came in this way. I like it. And let's see here. It looks like this taper, it's really not that bad. Gray hair can be tricky. I mean, I could nitpick them, but I really wouldn't want to. I could see that it looks like in the occipital bone, there's definitely maybe a little bit of weight there. Like I said, gray hair can be really tricky. It can be difficult to see this. I don't think this is too bad, but again, it looks like you're actually doing some good proportionate work up here around the parietal ridge. Your clipper over comb, and mind you, 8 weeks. I mean, give this guy a thumbs up, man. 8 weeks is good. It's good. Um, let's see here. Yeah, it's loud, but not loud, but like loud, like clear. Good, good. Just keep it near your mouth. Good. I know how to handle trolls. I've been trolling. I come from the trenches of trolling. If you think my trolling is bad, go check my live streams from years ago. Oh, that's funny, man. What's up, Dre? Good to see you. All right, so yeah, I know, right? This is a Twitch stream, so you guys know that I'm about to give something away pretty soon, right? Y'all see it? All right, right. What we have here is we have a brand new electric shaver from Gamma. I've never even used it. This one here is not even really been turned on. Let's hope it works. Okay, it works. It does turn on. So yeah, man, you got your electric shaver here, and one of the cool things about this is it actually can charge with a micro USB, and we can pipe that right on down the skin. So I'm not gonna do it yet, so let's not get crazy here. But that's what's on the chopping block for today, and I'm just gonna keep, like I said, every live, man, every live at some point we're gonna drop it, and we're just gonna give something away. Let's move on to the next one here. Lewis. Lewis has one of those cuts. Like, I have never done this. I've never done the cross in the back of somebody's head. Um, okay, Lewis. This looks like a drop fade. I would love to see the back of this. Is there a view of the back of it? Here's another view. He gave me 2. Okay. So, all right. One thing that I can see a little better on this angle here, your cross looks fine. I think that looks pretty good. I like the placement of it. On the parietal ridge here, we it looks like we have a tiny bit of weight, and it's smart that you left this amount of weight, and I think that you could probably easily fix this. You could probably easily fix this with some texturizing shears, which I think eventually I'll have a pair of those to give away too. But you take some texturizing shears, you go in with your scissor over comb technique, and you reduce this weight, and it would reduce significantly. It would look a lot better just as a result of doing that. And if that didn't work, again, trap your fades, guys. Trap your fades. Go up one step higher than and decide that, okay, my issue is either between my 2 and my 1. Okay, and there's a 1 1/2 in between. So go up to your 2, open it, close it, jump to your 1 1/2, open it, close it, jump to your 1. Because you're gonna find where that mistake is right in there. Fade trap, boy. Fit that thing right in between here. Somewhere there's an issue. We gotta find it. That's the key to just cleaning those up. But hey, overall, it's a good cut, man. It's a good cut, and I'm of course nitpicking because I'm supposed to. But it's a good cut. Okay, this one's from Amber. I didn't learn to fade in school. I just graduated from barber school. I got my license back in September. I have a long way to go. I love to learn, and I'm determined to keep improving. Thanks for your advice. Okay, perfect. This is good here. She's showing it all. She is showing it all. And a lot of times people will take pictures in an effort to try to hide. Hey, she's at Supercuts. Congratulations, my friend. I totally appreciate your grind because if you're at Supercuts, I know you're grinding and I know you're gonna get good fast. Period. Not ever making fun of anybody for working at Supercuts because myself, I was there. Okay. All right. I see the blend here. One of the things that I'm gonna point out is in the temple region, right above my eye is just drawn right to that area, right above his eye. Right. Um, his hair, I could tell his hair is a difficult kind of hair to fade. It's a difficult texture to work with. It looks like it's very, very fine. And one of the things that I would tell you to do is when you attack your skin line or when you attack whatever line you're working on, I would probably try to avoid working with lines on this client to some extent. I would have began initially with a number two. I would have wait right here. I began initially with a number two, okay, and then I would have worked it down so that this wouldn't have been so difficult because it looks like at some point you may have got a little lost in the fade because the blend itself looks all right in most of the areas and then there's just a little bit of weight in some areas. So I would tell you to work a little more thoroughly, okay? And when you have a client with this type of hair, come in with a number two and work your way down little by little. Okay, so do your debulking first because one of the things I did at Supercuts a lot, and I view it now as a mistake, was I used to just go in buck nasty wild trying to knock out the fade underneath, and I do a little clipper over comb, and you were out the door. My average time at Supercuts was between 4 and 5 minutes a cut, and it didn't matter if it was a foot or two long or a skin fade. So I used to do that. So caution yourself, go up the sides with the two, clipper over comb that portion, then come in, make your line with however short you're going to go, work up from there. Hope it helps. Chevanese, my friend Chevanese. All right. These are some of my first. These are some of my haircuts from IG. It varies from different timelines and inputs as appreciated. Not a day one. uh, not one day. I regret finding you on YouTube. I always been learning something new and solidified my previous knowledge. Um, by the seams of the lives on YouTube, you always have that charming, positive energy. Thank you. Let your family continue to be safe through these hard times and your blessings. And I really hope I get my hands on one of those cordless trimmers. I could take the criticism, so hit me with your best shot. Always room for improvement. Enough said. Love, respect, Eddie, your favorite subscriber. Well, that's awesome of you. I really appreciate you, Chevanese. Holy smokes, she sent me a lot. All right, so let's start with this one here. Okay, because there is some clear things that we can work on. This is not easy. I mean, first off, with this texture hair, it's very difficult to pull off a high fade and have it come out this smooth. So this would be one of those really compressed fades that I was talking about. Everything's flipped. All right, so this entire fade is taking place in just this amount of space. And when you get right down to it, this is a really good, smooth, high fade. It is. The only thing that I would complain about is maybe the client wanted to keep it longer on top, but I would have brushed it and got that hair to stand up a little bit with a comb, not laying it down. I want it to kind of stand up a little bit and came with the grain a little bit more so that I get a little bit more of that wave because I think that if his style was a little bit, if his hair was styled a little bit more, and if his wave was showing a little bit more, it would definitely look a little bit nicer on top. But overall, I wouldn't complain about that. What do you guys think? Let's give it up for her on that one. All right. This one here, we got to get the beard. The first thing that my eye goes to is this beard. Okay. Um, and one of the things that's like a pet peeve of mine is anytime a beard has any kind of like U shape in it, say this way. If a beard's shaping this way, like I'm exaggerating what's going on, but I need this beard to come down and in. Um, so what you can do is you can stretch this skin a little bit and just take that down. I know you know what to do there. And my man's eyebrows are something to behold. These eyebrows are needing some love. So with the eyebrows, take a number one, put it on your clipper, open it, cut it directly against the grain. And especially when anybody's got really thick eyebrows like that, it's going to cut all that out of there, and it's going to look a lot better right away. Right away. Okay. Um, oh, thank you, JL. I appreciate that. She said, whoop, wrong one. I was trying to put this up. I just started watching your videos to brush up on the skills. So much info. That's what I'm like. I feel like I'm just trying to put it all out there. You know, I'm trying to give every bit of what I got to this. Are you really in Jamaica? That's so cool. I always wanted to visit Jamaica. It would just be so cool. I had some great clients from Jamaica. They were just awesome and fun people, and I usually cut them for a season. They always come. The Jamaicans, they come here and they work at our restaurants and stuff for a season, and then they go home. Well, I was cutting these guys' hair, and I said, "Hey, if you could stay here forever, would you, or would you rather go home?" He's like, "Nah, man, I want to go back home." They love it. Okay, man, you're cutting some good hair. You are. This is kind of what I wanted to see the top looking like in that first photo. So this is another one from Chevanese, and we're gonna, yeah. So it looks like you did a really nice job with the skin. The blend is nice, and again, this beard's a huge improvement from the previous beard, and I don't have a lot of negative to say about this because it's really clean. I mean, I can't see the edge up per se, but that one I would say out of all the photos that I seen before, I think that one was like your cleanest one. That was definitely the cleaner one. So probably the only thing that I would say is just stay thorough in your process, work your way through this. This is tough hair. This is tough hair to cut. Um, this is that damn hair that just sticks out no matter what you do. And you did a nice job on this beard too. And again, when you put your guidelines in on a mohawk fade or a burst fade, you want to make sure that you put them in with a nice curve and then work with your clipper on those angles. Because if you look at this last photo here, your blend in the very front section of this is very good. It's very clean. And just back here by the neck, it gets a little tricky. So one of the things people do on the back of the neck in a mohawk fade is they hold the clipper on this angle and they come at it. But a good trick is actually to hold it on this angle and come at it with just the corners. Because if you come at it with the corners, the odds of you making a mistake are going to drastically be reduced. You're not going to have any of those problems that you run into. All right, let's get to some other people here. Chevanese, you know I love you. I thank you so much for being a subscriber, and you've contributed for a long time to the channel, so I really appreciate it. All right, we got the next one is Sheptim. I hope I'm not butchering the name. I like your pictures, man. I like the higher the aperture, the portrait. I like seeing these high quality photos, and they go a long way on Instagram. Like your clients see that you take that extra time to do that. The background looks kind of dope on this one. I don't know if it's wood or what it is, but it looks dope. Now, as far as the haircut goes, I'm not seeing a whole lot to complain here. I know that this is difficult hair to cut too. It looks like you might have some. It looks like you might have some cuts. You might have some issues maybe in this occipital region, but I'm not seeing a whole lot here. It looks like you may even have used texturizing shears. And Sheptum, did you use texturizing shears in here? Because it looks like you have. It looks like you did use some. And if you might want to just go back with some scissor over comb just in the very back area behind the ear and up in there. But overall, good cut. No complaints. This one here, he said this is a cut that he did today. Let's see if he left me any info. All I got is the cuts. So good clean blend. I'm happy with this one. I don't see anything to complain about here. You know, I think it looks good. I think it looks good. What else we got? Give you one. Okay, this one here could use a little bit of work. Okay, Shephem. Finally, you do bleed. Okay. Um, this here is a step that looks like it may have been skipped a little bit. I'm trying to find myself in this thing. I should flip this camera so I could actually like work with it. But yeah, in the area here, it looks like you may have done almost like a one closed, and then you came up and tried to blend it out. What I would recommend you do is whenever you get in this parietal ridge area, work with like a number two. Work with a number two to begin with, and then work your way down from there. So One of the things, I gotta set this camera up a little better because this is driving me crazy. Let me just flip this camera other way around here and see how the heck I can remember how to do that. There it is. There it is. Mirror. Oh, that's so much better. I can actually like work with this. Okay, so yeah, whenever you're working in this parietal ridge, again, go with it. Go with a number two when you get in there, and then when you begin working your steps, start them a little bit lower and stretch them out nicer, and you'll not have this. You won't have this weight line. If this does occur, again, you're gonna have to go back in and fade trap. Start with the two, or one and one half open, one and one half closed, one open, one closed, and you'll find that weight line, and you'll remove it. You'll remove it. Okay. Uh, he says, JL, just give me your life savings and I'll give you the return of a lifetime in 5 years. Oh man. Joseph A, if you want to send a picture, we're gonna wrap this up. I'm actually at 9 o'clock. I'm actually only gonna do one more. But next time, don't send me any pictures while we're not on live because I won't be able to get to them. But next time you want to send one, next live we'll do it. But listen, I'm gonna cut this short because I've had a fun time. This was really fun to actually be able to just kind of bounce around and kind of like go into different areas. Like I love this stuff. I love being light on my feet and just answering whatever questions you guys want to throw at me, because I've spent a lot of time in different areas of the game, and it's just fun to be able to share it with you guys. And let's get to the more important thing of the night for most of y'all. You know what's funny is now that I'm about to give this away, it's been like 40 people in this room the whole time, between 40 and 60, over and over, But now that I'm about to give this away, somehow there's like 67 people in here. A couple more people snuck in. They got in under the door. All right. So what I think should happen is I'm gonna critique one more haircut, and I'll just randomly select one of these, and if you guys want me to give this away, I want us to pump these likes up. Let's pump these likes up to, let's say, 70. I think we could do 70 likes. 70 likes, and we'll give this bad boy away. Um, all right, let's see here. Let's look at what we got coming in here. I got a couple to choose from, and let's see who needs the most help. I shouldn't say let's see who needs the most help, but let's see who we can maybe help the most. Okay, this could definitely use. Okay, this is from Musa. Been cutting a couple months now. Learned a lot from you. Still got to learn. Still got a lot to learn. Okay, one thing that jumps out at me right off the bat is, this client wants to wear it long on top. That's fine. But one thing that, oops, I accidentally got rid of that. One thing that I noticed right off the bat is the back. Down here in the nape area, you could see a little line. And believe it or not, if your clippers are set up correctly, that's the line that's easiest to remove. So we're going to go in. What I would do at this point in the haircut, if I was doing any kind of repair work, I would go in, open it, run it over with it open, keeping it flat, keeping it on an angle, and slowly begin to close it, staying a little bit lower each time. So for instance, if I was here running it back and forth, I'm going to move it down a little bit, close this a little bit, move it back and forth, down a little bit, close this a little bit, move it back and forth. And if you have to, return to your trimmer. So get rid of it that way. We up to 60. We're up to 60. Let's keep going. We need to get 10 more thumbs up. So whoever hasn't taken that minute to pump that thumbs up, let's just hit that thumbs up. You guys click that thumbs up so somebody can win that gem. That's right. Let's go, JL. You tell them what's up. Tell them what's up. So I appreciate you guys sending me your work. I know it's not easy to have somebody kind of like looking into all the stuff you do, but I hope that some of my critiques were able to help you guys and help you grow. It all comes from a place of positivity, and it's not it's not by no means an attempt at knocking anybody down. I want everybody to get good and grow. 68 people in here, 60 thumbs up. We got 8 people who are holding out, plus probably more. I have a pair of 50 cals, and I could easily do this video, and I shall do this video soon. I actually might want to do that before I give those away because I have another pair of 50 cal magnums that I'm going to give away on this channel in one of these lives. But today we're rocking with Gamma. And of course, if you guys remember, if you want to purchase anything from Gamma in the event that you don't win this, in the unlikely event that you don't win this, if you use my code Eddie, you will receive 10% off. And I'm going to put up the last thing that's important to me. I really want more people to get in this talent show. I only have maybe 3 people that entered, and we are going to give away $100. $100. Who gives away $100? So I want to make sure that you guys follow these rules and get in. I left it in the link in the description if you don't catch them here. But we are 65 likes. We got to get 5 more likes. We're pumping it up, man. Pumping it up. Click that like button. He said wait 5 minutes and click it again. Does that work? Is that something you could do? Yeah, you got to exit the chat to click the thumb up real quick. But again, send me a video, no inappropriate, whatever talent you got, man. I don't care if you film your mom, your dad, your uncle, your sister, your brother, whatever. Make $100 off of them. You ain't even got to tell them. Send it in, and we're gonna have some fun showing these videos of people doing various different things. So if it's cool, if you're good at drawing, if you can do a pogo stick, if maybe you could do a backflip on a trampoline, like anything you could do, that's good, man. We're close enough, guys. We are close enough. $100. Somebody's gonna actually win. Giveaway should go to someone who can answer a question from the actual live. You know what? You know what, Mac? I think you onto something. But I don't think it would be fair to do it in this one. I'm gonna do it my usual way. But I think I'm gonna leave a nugget somewhere in my live next week or whenever I go live next. I think that's a good idea. I'll leave a little nugget somewhere, and later I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna ask you guys about that nugget, and we'll see if we can get it. 66 likes is enough, man. I appreciate you guys. So I'm gonna drop a comment here about what to do. How many people are in here? All right, let's see. Okay. So starting now, whoever's in the chat, pick a number between 1 and 56, and there we go, man. Who? Oh wait, I gotta pick a number first. Okay, I got it. I gotta write it down though. Where'd I put it? Hold up. Where's my thing? Okay, it's from where I put that. So let's see here. Okay, you guys are just gonna pick a number between 1 and 56, and whoever gets it first has got it. No one's got it yet. We're at 31. Wait, where are we at here? 18. She says 65. Hold up. Where are we at here? Okay, 21. Oh, someone was really close. Someone was really close. Oh, bam. Musa. Musa. Got it, boy. All right, check it out, guys. Check it out, guys. He got it. He got it. Bam. There it is. Just so you know I ain't cheating you. I never cheat. Man, that one went quick. Musa, where are you from, buddy? All right, all right, all right. It's over. It's over, you guys. It's over. Musa won it. Let me get his comment up. Leave it up, please. Turn these settings off. All right, all right, all right. We got people dinging in. Musa, where are you from, buddy? Where are you from, Musa Townsa? Hopefully he's not from some faraway island that's gonna cost a fortune to ship this thing off to. But even if you are, I'm gonna try to find a way to get it there. All right. So Musa won. This he's putting in 24. Orlando's like, yo, I said 24. You guys know it's over. It's over. Stop writing the numbers. Somebody guessed, Steve. I think it was you. Somebody guessed 25, like right off the bat. He guessed 25, like right off the bat. Don't worry, Chevanese. I'm gonna give away another electric shaver. I'm gonna get you one, girl. We're gonna find one for you. 24. So Musa, He's in the Netherlands. Great. Have you ever had something shipped to the Netherlands? How much does it cost to ship an item to the Netherlands? Let's see. How much to ship a clipper to the Netherlands from the US? How much does it cost to ship? Okay. That's actually not that bad. Uh, it looks like it might be like $34 or something. It's all good. It's all good. We're cool, man. We're cool. Um, I thought about he literally thought about Kobe. You know what? I didn't even know that that was his number. I don't really watch basketball. I didn't even know that. Um, it's it's interesting, Juan. It's interesting. Those ceramic blades made a huge difference on how that thing performed. Because I had the first Gamma trimmer, it was okay, but there was nothing like super special about it. And when I got that ceramic blade on there, it was really good. It was really good. Okay, Musa, before you go, buddy, send me, either on Instagram or you can send me to this email. Why don't you email your shipping details? That way, it's just easier for me. I could just literally save it right now, and I can get that printed out so that whatever I got to do to get that out to you, I can. So just Musa, please, my email's right here. Send that over. RIP to Kobe. I didn't even really know it. And for those of you guys who didn't win, which is all of you except for Musa, um, don't worry, because we got more stuff to give away. And like I said, every live, I want to do this now. Every live, I want to give something away. Screw it. We got to grow this live. We got to grow this live up. Hey, Jay Beats and Waves, did you get yours? Yours should have been there by now. I sent that out. Um, for anybody who doesn't know, Jay Beats and Waves, he won something. I'm starting to lose track of. I'm starting to lose track of things, but I would think that you should have gotten yours by now. The ergos, Geraldo, we talked about the ergos earlier in the program, and I love them, dude. I love them. I really love them. I do. So Musa said he's been a barber for a couple months now. So it sounds like all right. If you're a Bills fan, if it turns out that you're a Bills fan and you win, I'm gonna I'm gonna send you a Josh Allen jersey. No, I wish I could do that. Sign Josh Allen jersey like I know him. Nah, Musa was the first one to say 24. I just re-verified. It's from my text message, so yeah, Musa won straight up. Um, all right, so Musa doesn't go to school here. That's all right. That's all right. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me where somebody's at in their process, whether they're in school, out of school, learning off the side, on the side, whatever. I could care less. I'm just wanting to spend. I'm just wanting to spend time with people who are interested in this field in the way that I am, and I hope to inspire people who maybe are afraid to take that first step and want to actually jump into this career. So once again, I really appreciate you guys for spending this time with me, hanging out, and doing this live. This was a real fun one for me. I love to just bounce around a little bit. But next week, we plan to unveil this talent show. So please, please get your videos submitted before next Wednesday, which is the 22nd. And we're going to have some fun watching that. So next week's going to be a real fun live. I'm really looking forward to that, as long as we can get more people in the live. So the talent show rules, I'll show them up one more time. And you guys want to you guys want to watch the very first video I ever made? I'll download it and maybe we can watch it next week together. It, it's terrible. It's terrible. It was filmed horrible. But yeah, I actually can make it not private, download it, and we could just watch it together, and you guys could all laugh at how bad it was. I don't think the cut was that bad, but there was some varying opinions back then. That was like 10 years ago. Things have gotten a lot better. So once again, Musa, please send me that email. I would like to get that prepared to ship and try to get it out your way as soon as I can. And Manny, some of the talents so far, without putting too much out there, there was somebody who did some drawing. There's somebody who did some dancing. There's somebody who did some weird thing with their ears. So it's not too much. I really, like I said, I've only got 3 people in, and remember, me and Ant the barber are both in on this, and we're gonna send you $100 if you win, and it's gonna be fun to go through that. So again, introduce yourself, tell us about your talent, submit a 1 minute video, on your video, and it could be between 1 and 3 minutes, whatever you do. And just so you know, King Troll sent a video. So MMA, he sent a video, and just so you know, I'm gonna put something in that video myself, even though I can't win. But I'm gonna put something in that video. So, Amber, thanks for the advice today. I really appreciate it. Wish I could donate, but I did get the cordless masters today from 614 and used your code. Hey, that's great. That's great. I really appreciate that, Amber. Any way that you guys can help is awesome. I got your email, Musa, so I'll be putting that together for you. Uh, oh, that was you, Manny. That was you. Hey, man, I want you to send me. I want you to send me a video. Give me a video with like you just saying who you are and what you're about to do. That way, I can have it formatted good. You could just resend that to me. That'd be great. I wanted to ask you to do that. I didn't get to try a chance to. Um, Alice, I didn't see your talent show video. Let me look and see if it. Let me look and see if it came in because I'm curious now. But you guys know, for whatever reason, my Instagram moves like a slug. It's so slow sometimes. I'm sure you guys have sent me stuff, but I didn't get that, Alice. So if you can resend me that, and I don't know why when I'm live it seems like it moves even slower, but yeah, when I'm live, it moves slow. J Beats and Waves. I didn't see if you answered me. You should have gotten yours. I'm looking up here to see if you're still in the room. I was curious to see if you got yours because I believe I sent yours out enough days ago where you should have already received it. Yeah, he wrote congratulations, Musa. He might have dipped out. He might have dipped out. But yeah. So anybody who's breaking a table like a Bills fan, I'd like to see that. I want to see something funny, entertaining. So yeah, please to my Instagram, send me your videos, and as I get them, I'm gonna keep compiling them. Hopefully, I can get all of them in by Wednesday, and get the show ready to deliver to you guys on. So next Saturday is just gonna be total fun. We're not talking a crazy amount of hair. Ant the Barber is gonna probably be with me the whole time. Okay, J Beats and Waves. He got his giveaway, so that was cool. I got it shipped out in slow timing as I move at breakneck speed, and we're just gonna have fun next week. So he got it out. Um, okay, Eddie, I sent it to Ant, and he said he got it, but because I couldn't get a hold of you, I'll resend it. Oh, you sent it to Ant. Okay, yeah, you gotta send that to me because I'm trying to put them all in the same thing. Okay, cool, cool. Giving away $100 to the winner. Giving away $100 to the winner, and you know what? We could even sweeten the pot. We could even sweeten the pot if the winner. All right, Lewis. How about this? If the winner turns out to be a barber or someone in need of some hair advice, I'll take them on the show live, and I'll work with them, and everybody else can kind of see where we're at. So I'll sweeten the pot a little bit. If the winner wants to and feels comfortable about it, we can do that. And Steve, I definitely will follow you. If you follow me, I'll just unfollow me and follow me again so I can find it real quick, and I'll do it. Oh, and JL, have a good birthday, and Chevanese, thank you for all the good support and the kind words. I really appreciate that. And for now, I'm signing off. So this is the YouTube Barber Academy. I am Mr. Eddie Barber, and I am extremely thankful to have you guys joining me tonight. And I will see you guys at the very latest next Saturday, but I think I'm going to see you before then. And once again, congratulations to my friend Musa from the Netherlands, who will be receiving the electric shaver from Gamma Absolute Zero. Until next time, I'm out of here. Peace.